We are staying on top of this breaking news. An investigation underway into a fire at a family-owned business in National City. This happened at the Western Hose and Gasket building on Harding Avenue and 30th Street. Thanks so much for being here at 6 a.m., everyone. I'm Eric Connor.
And I'm Netta Rampur. We're going to get right to CBS 8's Ariana Cohen live in National City. Now, you still see fire crews on the scene. Good morning, Ariana. What's the latest?
Yes, we are still learning about the Western Hose and Gasket Company. It's a family-owned business of 35 years, founded in 1979. Now, you could imagine if this was your bread and butter, and coming to see this would just be heartbreaking. Right now, live at the scene, we could see firefighters are wrapping up. They're wrapping up their hoses and slowly clearing the scene. Now, fire crews tell us the fire started last night around 11. No injuries are reported. A call came in from drivers on the freeway who saw flames coming from the roof. Again, at Western Hose and Gasket Company, this building is on Harding Avenue and 30th. This is a third alarm fire, which means triple the resources came out, including National City, Chula Vista, San Diego, and Bonita. We spoke with the battalion chief, who gave us more details.
There is compromise to the building that visually can be seen by standing in the street. Therefore, we probably will prevent anybody from going into the building.
Engineers are concerned at one point that the building could collapse. They are preventing anyone going inside the building as they are still evaluating. The damages may cost millions of dollars. However, they don't have specific numbers at this time. It's too early to know the cause of this fire. Again, this is a family-owned business of 35 years. They provide industrial supplies to many local contractors. Back here live at the scene, you could see crews are clearing up the scene, and police will no longer be blocking the streets here. To follow the latest developments, stay with us on air and online at CBS8.com. We'll send things back to you.
You feel for those business owners, Ariana. Thank you so much for that. Right now, California is in a state of emergency, and this is due to the monkeypox. The governor making this official declaration, aiming to ramp up efforts to stop the spread. County Supervisor Chair Nathan Fletcher says expect a local declaration here in the coming days. And this morning, the county is giving the vaccine first doses on people at the highest risk. This includes the close contact of reported cases, plus men who have sex with multiple male partners. The World Health Organization says at least 95% of patients with monkeypox are men who have sex with multiple other men. A reminder, monkeypox is not classified as an STD. This morning, officials say California has distributed more than 25,000 doses of the vaccine, and the state currently has more than 65,000 doses. More are expected here soon.
At this time, San Diego State University says it is investigating claims that 5 members of its football team raped a 17-year-old girl. We first brought you this story last week. The incident reportedly happened at an off-campus party last October. In a statement, the university president said police initially asked the school not to investigate or intervene because it could jeopardize their criminal investigation. However, SDSU's investigation would examine whether university policy has been violated rather than if a crime was committed. The maximum possible punishment for policy violations is expulsion.
Right now, homicide detectives in Lakeside are investigating a body found. This was yesterday morning in a pond. You see video from the scene there. The sheriff's department says the body was discovered near El Capitan High School. Deputies confirmed the death there at the scene. Sheriff's investigators say it's a man who appeared to be about 50 years old. Homicide detectives say the death is suspicious, but also added there does not appear to be foul play.
Major deadline looming at the state capitol, where legislators must decide whether to pass or kill hundreds of legislative bills by the end of this month. One of the most sweeping and controversial of these is the Care Court, which would use local courts to help provide treatment and housing to those who are mentally ill and homeless. It has already passed the state Senate unanimously and now must pass the Assembly. There are some major concerns over whether it would infringe on civil rights, as well as how it would be funded.
The real opposition that seems to be emerging, or the people are saying, wait, hold on a minute, are the counties that would actually have to carry this forward, that would have to provide that housing, provide all of those services, and be held to account to the tune of $1,000 fines per day if they didn't provide that. So counties are asking for some steps to make sure that they can actually implement this vision.
Now, if approved by the Assembly by August 31st, Care Court could be in place statewide by the end of this year.
Right now, high inflation already hammering Californians at the gas station and our grocery stores, and then many other people are facing skyrocketing rent hikes.
And starting this month, landlords can begin raising rents on their tenants. CBS 8's Regina Urita tells us what tenants need to be aware of and how you can get help.
Tenants across California might have gotten a notice promising a big rent increase this month, a concern for many already struggling to pay bills. With your budget already getting squeezed by price hikes, the last thing you want to see is a massive rent increase notice taped to your apartment door. Well, that's exactly what many San Diegans could face this month.
If a tenant gets a rent increase that they can no longer afford to pay, chances are that they're not going to be able to find anywhere else to move to.
If you are a tenant living in an apartment complex built before 2007, you could see up to a 10% increase on your rent payment. But how did we get here? Alliance Californians for Community Empowerment, a nonprofit that works with tenants to prevent housing injustices, says it's because of a law that was passed to protect tenants from being pushed out of their homes. The law caps annual rent increases at 5% plus an inflationary figure. Because inflation is so high, the requirement is capped at 10%.
The maximum rent increase is 5% plus inflation or 10%, whichever is lower.
With a 10% increase, tenants are afraid they won't be able to make rent and will be forced to give up their home. What's even worse, AB 1482 does not apply to renters in lots of places, including apartments built in the past 15 years or those that are affordable housing, meaning landlords can hike rent up to 30%.
Just driving around San Diego streets, you can see how many people are homeless.
Like Francisco Hernandez, who lives in an affordable apartment in Linda Vista. He tells me he's already battling eviction.
I'm very afraid to be homeless with my family, with my daughter, with my wife.
I asked the city to see if there's any way tenants could be protected. City Council Vice President Sean Elo Rivera tells me San Diego does not have rent control. It only has a moratorium for a no-fault eviction.
And what that says is, if you're a tenant in the city of San Diego and you've paid your rent on time and you've abided by the terms of your lease, there are only a few exceptions by which you can be evicted.
If you are a tenant who is struggling to pay rent, we have listed a couple nonprofits who can help you financially. Just go to CBS8.com, click the help button. Regina Urita, CBS 8.
Well, the clock is ticking now for the Padres ahead of the trading deadline. That's today at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, will they get another power bat like superstar Juan Soto or reinforce the bullpen? We do know the team is keeping a hometown hero much longer. Yes, El Cajon native and Grossmont High grad Joe Musgrove is the first Padres pitcher in history to earn a $100 million deal. It's a 5-year extension. Musgrove brought the Friars their first ever no-hitter, and this year he made his first All-Star team.
And the Friars also traded for the most dominant closer in baseball.
That's right. Josh Hader is coming over from the Milwaukee Brewers. In return, the Padres giving up closer Taylor Rogers and 3 other players. Hader has struggled in the month of July, but he currently leads the league in saves. He's been virtually unhittable for almost half a decade now. We'll continue the conversation about the trading deadline with former All-Star himself, Heath Bell. He's going to be joining us live here in our next half hour. Lots to talk to Heath about. I mean, he's an All-Star pitcher.
Yeah.
He knows what it's like to hold on to Musgrove, get Hader in the bullpen. And so I'm looking forward to what Heath has to say here.
I was going to say, for so many people who have those Musgrove jerseys, hey, you get to continue wearing that with pride.
Yeah, that's always the worst when you get a jersey and then that guy leaves the next year. At least he'll be here till 2017
he'll be
at least.
Here for a while. It's awesome. It's great to see. And I mean, I'm sure for his friends and family, his coaches who helped him along the way, that's really cool. They get to go to all the games and cheer him on. Here's a look at right now at our forecast. And when you see these clear skies, just know it's going to get warm pretty quickly here this morning. We are 6:09 right now, and we're just seeing a little bit of a haze. Other than that, not noticing the marine layer or monsoonal clouds. At least we're getting a break from that for now. 4-foot waves right there at our local pier in La Jolla, and then further out you see 6-footers. South-facing beaches, you're in for it today. 3 to 5-foot waves, most of our beaches, but the south-facing you get up to 7-footers. So there's a big swell that's building, and today and tomorrow it will peak. Our rip current risk is high because of it. Low tide is in about 30 minutes from now, so pretty good time to go for that morning walk if you'd like. But then by about 1 o'clock, you'll see a lot more water taking over some of the shoreline. This is the the view from Mount Soledad, Mission Bay right there. You see the jetty, always a great spot to go for a jog or a walk. It's 70 degrees along the coast. Still, it does feel pretty muggy. I know I promised by Tuesday things will ease up a little bit. For now, at least this morning, we still have that moisture in the air. Temperatures, though, feel pretty good, mid to upper 60s. Some of you 70 degrees like in El Cajon. Here's a quick check of traffic. And for now, I'm noticing North County are doing okay. Same with East County, but I just saw this crash pop up. So I'm going to walk over here to our traffic computer to take a look and see what's happening. So it does look like right on the 805, I believe, that's where there is a crash. Let me zoom in. While this is all unfolding on air, you guys, bear with me. This is a crash that just popped up 805 northbound and the 15. So for now, I don't see much backups. As far as traffic is concerned, there's not much congestion on the roadways, thankfully. So hopefully they will clear this pretty quickly. And then that way you can continue on with your drive this morning. But that's the only major incident that I'm seeing on our freeway. So we'll check up in on that, find out more details here coming up in just a little bit. Eric.